You're at the cinema. Small popcorn, $3. Large popcorn, $7. You look at the $4 gap and you think, no way, that's too much for popcorn. So you take the small one. Now imagine the same options, but now there's a medium at $6.50. Suddenly the large starts making a lot more sense. And that's weird, because nothing about the large changed. The only thing that changed is the existence of the medium. A popcorn almost nobody wants, and yet it might be the most important option on the menu. Behavioral economist Dan Ariely used this example to illustrate a strange idea. Sometimes an option exists, but its job is not to sell. It is to make another option look better. This is what economists call the asymmetric dominance effect, or more plainly, the decoy effect. Here's what happens in your brain. When you have two options, you compare them directly. $3 versus $7. That's a $4 gap, and you're the one who has to justify crossing it. But when you have three options, something changes. You don't compare everything to everything. You find the closest pair and use that comparison to make your decision feel safe. And the closest pair in this example is medium versus large. $6.50 versus $7. For 50 cents more, you get the large. So you're no longer asking, is the large worth $7? You're asking, is 50 cents worth it to go from medium to large? And the answer is almost always yes. The decoy effect shifted the reference point, which changed the question, which changed the decision. The medium didn't add value. It restructured how you perceived the other two options. In my 20 years in pricing, I've seen this used well, and I've seen it used badly. Here's the difference. Used well, a decoy option is a structural tool. It makes your preferred tier feel like the obvious choice, not through pressure, but through context. Used badly, or not used at all, your pricing leaves that work to chance. Two options and the customer gets stuck in a binary trap that we broke down in this previous video. 3 practical takeaways for your business. First, identify the option that you want people to buy. That's your target. Then, add an option just below it, almost as expensive, but clearly less valuable. That gap makes your target feel like the obvious choice. Second, if the decoy is too attractive, too cheap, or too close in value to your target, it stops being a decoy. It becomes a competitor. And it cannibalizes the very option that it was supposed to sell. And third, this works beyond cinema counters, obviously. Software plans, consulting packages, service tiers, restaurants menu. Anywhere you have a pricing range, you have the architecture to use this. And the business that don't? They're letting their customers make the comparison they want to make instead of the one that serves both sides. Earlier, we were at the cinema counter. You didn't choose the large because you were hungry. You chose it because the medium made 50 cents feel like a no-brainer. The middle option here played the same role as the most expensive item on the menu that we analyzed in the video above. It was just there to set the scene. So price isn't just a number. Its perception changes with the context. The medium popcorn changed what $7 felt like. Subscriptions do the same thing. They change what paying feels like. And that's a very different kind of pricing mechanism. We'll explore that next week. If this kind of analysis is useful to you, whether you're building your pricing strategy or just trying to understand the world around you, subscribe to the Pricing Club. New video every Thursday. Thank you for watching and take care.